Welcome to Singles Club. It's your boy Ed. Because I didn't introduce myself last time, I feel like an idiot. So why not introduce myself in the way that everyone on YouTube does? And I'd also like to introduce Alex. I mean, not introduce him, but he was here last time.
Yeah, it's your other boy, Alex.
No, you gotta say the "your" with. You gotta say like "yeah," like Andre 3000. You gotta be like, "It's ya boy."
Oh, but I'm not like him though.
I'm sure Andre 3000 wouldn't say "it's ya boy." He's too against the curve to say something like that. Regardless, here on Singles Club we talk about singles because we feel like it. And this time we're going to be talking about the new song by HAIM called Right Now. HAIM, for those who don't know, are a trio of sisters who put out what was probably, is it fair to say it was like one of the most celebrated albums in the mainstream back in 2013, the album Days Are Gone?
I'd say so, up there with like obviously Arctic Monkeys one and Pure Heroin by Lord. Those were all actually around the end of the year, but yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, after the commercial success of that album, they sort of disappeared off the radar for me. I mean, I don't know if they've put out much music since, but regardless, I wasn't really a big fan of that album. I thought it was okay. I thought it had some decent cuts on it. But what really drew me to this comeback single Right Now was the fact that Paul Thomas Anderson, of all people, directed its video. For those who don't know, not only was this guy the main brain behind some magnificent films like Magnolia, Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, Punch Drunk Love, but he also happened to direct an effortlessly brilliant video for what was easily my favourite single of last year, Daydreaming by Radiohead.
Oh, right, yeah.
Fantastic song, fantastic video. Call it shallow, but that was reason enough for me to get on board with checking out this new HAIM single. But before I share any of my thoughts on this track, Alex, what did you make of this song?
Okay, well, like you say, Days Are Gone was a big album for them. Well, it's their only album, so... But anyway, yeah, it's one of the better pop rock albums I've heard this decade, and I thought it was a really breath of fresh air that the semi-mainstream needed, so I'm glad they're back with this. I'm not sure if this is a real single. It sounds like live audio, like you told me before.
It is live audio. It is live audio, but I think they're kind of announcing... I mean, it's been a few years since Days Are Gone now, like, in terms of modern music, where things are regurgitated and put out so swiftly and frequently. For them to put out a record, have it be really successful, garner a big fan base, and then just sort of disappear for 4 years is not unheard of, but they really are sort of... It's almost like a comeback single, this song, in a way. But I feel the way they've done it, the way they've got Paul Thomas Anderson to direct, the way they're using live audio, this really is like an announcement of what direction they're saying that they're going to go in next with this new album.
Yeah, so it's a lot slower than anything on the Days Are Gone album, which didn't take me aback, but definitely surprised me. It's more bare bones than anything I've heard them do. It's essentially Danielle on the piano, Esty playing bass, and Alana playing guitar, usual setup. And there's like some minimal kick drums in the background to begin with, which acts as the only like rhythm other than the bass, which I don't know what you thought, but I thought that was...
I believe it's a drum machine.
Yeah, drum machine making kick drum sounds on a loop. Kind of weird, not something I've heard them do before, but I guess it didn't hinder the song.
It's kind of a slow burner. There's definitely a build here, but it's quite minimal and perhaps not quite as explosive as many people might hope. I mean, some electric guitars come in about a minute and a half into this track, and then they just sort of disappear for the remainder. And then at the end, sorry, I don't know the sisters' names. I can't put their names to their faces.
Okay, well, Esty and Alana both... I sound like a real fanboy here. I don't know, I've got a good memory with band members' names.
I don't, that's where we differ.
Okay, well, anyway, they drop their instruments, guitar and bass, and then move across to the two big boom drums at the back of the studio while Danielle kind of picks up with the chorus. But before we go into the... Well, yeah, obviously, clearly, they go into a big drumming frenzy. But I just want to say the chorus is one of the weirdest I've heard from HAIM. The backing vocals Esty provides shows how much that all of the sisters contribute to the hooks of songs, but yeah, it really did feel like a slow burner. Like that hook, it really digs into your skull, but it is really slow.
The bellowy vocals that really put me off HAIM's previous material remain here, and the songwriting, I know the presentation of this song and the structure of it feel kind of fresh and unusual for them, but in terms of the lyricism, the songwriting, it doesn't feel like it branches too far away from what came before.
Yeah.
But, like I say, it's really the presentation that has such a substantial shift here. The fact that we're getting the raw audio from the footage feels like a statement of intent in itself, as I said. But whether or not HAIM will be able to live up to that on their upcoming sophomore LP is yet to be seen. I mean, I don't think there's really much else to say about this song.
It's just a weird song, is the best way to say it. It doesn't sound weird to anyone who's tried stuff, but it's not what I was expecting they'd do to announce their comeback.
It's low-key in a sense. It's very low-key. I mean, if in terms of recommendations to conclude, if you're a fan of HAIM, you've already heard this song. And if you're not a fan of HAIM, unless you have the same sort of desire to listen to it based on such a shallow thing as who directed the damn music video, like me, feel free to check it out. But I can't say I don't recommend this song. It's not a bad tune by any means, but despite the change of direction, it doesn't do a huge amount to really pull me in. But I must say, my ears are a little bit more perked up than they would have been before when it comes to the prospects of a new HAIM album, which I believe they have announced a new sophomore album. Like,
they have, yeah.
This is more of a teaser track in a way. But yeah, my intrigue for this new album is perked up a little bit. And it wouldn't have been so had they not reinstated their presence in such an intriguing way.
Yeah. Well, I definitely recommend it. But here's the thing with recommending singles, even unless it's extremely generic or by the numbers or really bad, like even if it's not this general style of music you usually listen to, it's still...
It's only going to take a few minutes out of your day.
I know, yeah, so it's just a single, like... What have you got to lose? A bit more musical experience and knowledge, potentially enjoyment, where you didn't think you'd find enjoyment. But yeah, in general, I do recommend you view the video. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I guess that's all we have to say. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.